Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Digital Design Hacks 101, organized by IEEE SIS GST. Let me just quickly explain it to you what exactly are we going to do today within the next 1 hour. Each and every tool or concept which I will be explaining is necessary for you all to learn before making any poster or design. We will not be learning any unnecessary or artistic tools over here today. I will also show you how to use various resources available online and use those in CorelDRAW. Then we will be making this poster right from the scratch, which will include adding the hyperlinks and exporting it to PDF. Lastly, I would show how to install the software, both crack as well as 15-day free trial. Yep, that's pretty much sums up our next 1 hour over here. Two questions. What do we see? How do we see? Let's look at the first question over here. What do we see? We see colors digitally and colors printed. Now, some of you might say, aren't both the same one? Like what I see is what I get, but it's not like that. The color theory used to see colors digitally is RGB, and to print the same is done by using CMYK. What does this has to do with anything with poster making? Hang in there. Within the next 2 minutes, you will get to know when we open our CorelDRAW. Before we start with our software, let me just explain one more fun fact over here. Look at the both the color theories over here. R plus G plus B gives you white, and C plus M plus Y gives you black. But while saying, we say RGB and not RGBW. And here we say CMYK and not CMY. That's because RGB is used digitally and there is 0% chances of error by a computer or a display. All the colors we see is various proportion and ratios of these three RGB colors and four CMYK colors. If I say my machine to show me R 100%, G 100%, B 100%, it will show me white. But while printing these colors, they are made manually and there has to be some percentage of error while making pigment or a dye. Hence, theoretically, when we mix CMY, it is supposed to give us black, but practically we get gray. Therefore, black as a separate color is used. RGB is supposedly known as additive color theory, and CMYK is also known as subtractive color theory. That's enough for it. That's enough of theory for a day. Let's start with our software. When we open CorelDRAW, this is what we see at first. Then we click on create a new document and this dialog box is being seen. Here you can see primary color mode as CMYK and RGB. We first need to decide whether the artwork that we are going to create will be digital or it will be printed. And accordingly, we can choose it over here. This is the reason, which is why I explained you all the concept behind color theories. Let me just give you a general idea how big is the difference between RGB and CMYK color theory. You can see two colors on my screen over here. What if I tell you both of these colors are the same? The brighter one here is RGB cyan and a bit darker shade is CMYK cyan. Let us now start with tools. Next few minutes, you will feel like we are reading some kind of user manual. But to use the software further, we need to look at it at least once. On the left hand side of the screen, you can see various tools. If you hover over it, it is almost self-explanatory, but we will still look at them one by one shortly. Currently, if you look at the upper side of the screen, there is not much to do. Like these are general functions which we saw during creating a new document dialog box. But as soon as you click on any object which you created over here, various functions appear at the top of your screen. Let's look at these first one by one, then we will move to the tools on the left. The tools which you see on the left and at the top is 60% of your CorelDRAW. First, at the top, you can see angle of rotation. It is used to rotate the object at a certain angle. Say I want to rotate this particular square at an angle of 45 degrees. Then we have a flip function over here. There are two ways we can flip any object or text, which is flip vertically and flip horizontally. Adjacent to these, there are three types of corners over here. First one is round corner, second is scalloped corner, and third one is chamfered corner. And adjacent to these types of corners, you can see that we have four boxes over here. Each box represents one corner. And in the middle, you can see lock button. If we keep it locked, then the values for all the four corners will be same. But if we unlock it, then we can put our own desired values for any particular corner. Let's look this by first locking it. All the corners are now rounded by 20 mm. If we now unlock it and put the value 20 for the first corner and for the fourth corner, you can see the difference over here. Next, we can see here outline width. It is used to give border width to your objects. You can see it over here. Next, we have line style. And we can see that there are various types of lines such as dotted lines, etc., etc. We'll be using those while making actual poster. Let's look at the tools we have on our left. First, we have pick tool. Pick tool is used to pick, position, or transform any of your object you created. Next, we have shape tool. It is not required much, so we will see this as and when required. Then we have crop tool, knife tool, and eraser tool. Then these are some general function tools such as zoom, pan, freehand, artistic media, and various shape tools and text. But the last four tools are the important ones, and it will be used frequently while designing our artwork. Let's look at drop shadow tool. As the name itself suggests, it will give the effect of shadow for the object. Then we have transparency tool. It reveals the image area underneath the object partially. For example, we have transparented this particular object by 50. To bring this object to the front, we will be pressing Shift page up. You can see the object is placed. Next, we have color eyedropper tool. We can pick any color from any object or even an image, and we can use that wherever we want to on vectors. Next is Smart Fill tool, and this is the one which I personally use the most as background. For example, let's take a rectangle of page size and fill in the color, say cyan, inside this. Let's now see how this fountain fill over here works. You can see how just using one tool, we have our very own usually appealing background. There are various types of fountain fills over here. You can choose according to your convenience. Next, we will be learning combine tool. If we select two objects and place it over it, then we can see one combine tool appears over here. Instead of just saying how a particular tool works, we will just use some of this and make something cool out of it. Let's take a random text over here, say graphics, and we will click here to remove the filled in color inside and left click on any color present over here to give a border color. We will then take this freehand tool and draw two lines over it. And as explained to you before, we will be using combine tool over here. To be more specific, we will be using back minus front combine tool. Then we will be breaking all of this apart. And to do that, we have to right click on that object and you can see the option over here, break curves apart. Just click on that. Now, if you see, the whole part we made is apart. Fill in the color as you like to all the three parts. We are simultaneously selecting it by pressing the shift key. Then to give it some splicing effect, we will move these parts not more than 1 mm towards up and down. Here we have some appealing graphics over here. I can teach you how to use the software, but it's up to you guys how well you combine those and make the most out of it. Let's take one more example over here and create some honeybee structured background. I have explained you various shape tools over here. Let's take polygon tool and interactive fountain fill tool just to make some background. To increase the size, just click over here. Fill in the color orange. And by using fountain fill tool, make a gradient in it. Now press plus on your number keypad, drag it towards right by simultaneously pressing shift key. Now why do we press shift key? Because we have to align it just next right to it. If we press shift key, then it can be aligned right next to it. Give it some kind of mirror effect or flip it, and then we will we will be doing the same chain process again and again. That is to press plus on your number keypad, dragging it towards right. Again select all, press plus on your number keypad, drag it towards right. You can see a pattern being created over here. Now same thing we will select once again all, press plus, drag it downwards to create a honeybee structure. Again select all, press plus, drag it downwards. Now to make it even more better, we will add background to it, and at the same time we will also learn a new function named power clip inside. Fill in some color. Now let's see how power clip works. Power clip inside means inserting one object into another. Let's say I want to insert this object inside this rectangle. So for that, I will be clicking right click on it, and you can see here it says power clip inside. Click on it and move to the object where you want to insert it. Now you can see we have one more background with using minimalistic tools and functions. Let's explore more of this power clip inside function. Most of you might have watched Friends. We will be inserting this image into this text by just using power clip inside function. And done. We will now be making this poster by using various resources online. First resource website that which we will be exploring is freepik.com, and to exactly spell it, it is FREEPIK. Freepik is a collection of graphic resources in the form of vectors, photos, PSD, and icons. There are thousands of vectors of photos available over here. Some of them are premium, but many of them are free. We need to be clever enough to search appropriately and choose according to the theme of our poster. Like if you look at this poster, the topic for it is medical supply monitoring tool for government of India. So my keywords for search will be healthcare, COVID-19, medical, etc. etc. By looking at various vectors over here, your brain will start creating an ideal poster inside. All you need to do is keep on doing trial and error. Let's select this one for instance. I have already downloaded this file and extracted it over here to save us some time. Now here you can see the file is in the form of EPS, and this is what we will be looking for when we download anything from freepik.com. EPS stands for Encapsulated PostScript, and this file format is supported by CorelDRAW. Adobe files such as .ai and .psd are also supported by Corel, but let's focus on what we got here. Drag this EPS file and open it in your Corel interface. Here you can see the whole thing is grouped. Like the white background, the text over here, everything is grouped. To ungroup this and to separate all of them, right click on the object, and here you can see two options, ungroup and ungroup all. Select here ungroup all. Now you can delete the unwanted parts from the EPS file. Let it remain as it is for now. And let's look for some base at freepik.com. Any professional poster should not be too colorful or not too dull. We need to manage and balance between keeping it professional yet elegant and creative at the same time. Now, I thought to keep it white, but with a little bit of texture in the background. So, I will be searching here white texture. Again, to save some time, I have downloaded this file and extracted it on my laptop. As you can see here, we created one honeybee structure over here. You can create this background on your own. Now look at this image over here and see, do we really need to delete something from this, or are we going to keep it the same? Like we saw for the EPS file, they had white background and the text over here. Here, this is clean background, so we can use it as it is. Just drag and drop on your Corel interface. Rotate it by 90 degree because our poster is portrait one. Double click on the rectangle so that resize it according to your poster size. And we just now learned one function called power clip inside. Just do that. We now have the elegant base ready for us. But as I said before, it has to be elegant as well as creative at the same time. So I thought to use this as background too. But as you can see here, this is being prominently seen and it is not looking like a background. Our main poster content is yet to come and we need those content to be highlighted, not this background. Here the transparency tools which we learned will come in handy and for help. Again, click on the rectangle once, make the whole thing white. Click on transparency and make it 40. Now we can see we have our base ready and it can be used as background. Remember, the background has to match with the content that we will be placing over here. 50% poster is now ready. Main idea behind the so-called poster is that it should be self-explanatory and you have to place the content in such a way that reader gets an idea behind the poster within a minute or two. So if you look at this poster, I have created a particular path using a zigzag pattern. And just adjacent to it, I have added a doodle over here. Now, if you look at this doodle, I've never searched for this doodle particularly on freepik.com again. I have used this from this very own our healthcare background. Color combination is up to you, but make sure it matches your topic. I have used medic green and blue over here. Before we start creating a content pathway, let's place our logo and topic at the top of our poster. Now, not all of us might have access to our college logo files. Hence, if you have an image of your college or of your branch logo, then you can just place it on your Corel user interface and you can see one option, trace bitmap. Let me show you example for it. Click on trace bitmap and click on quick trace. Ungroup each and everything by clicking it on ungroup all. Remove unwanted backgrounds over here. Select it again, right click it and group it again. and place it at the top of your poster. Resize it according to it. I will not be talking too much now. Just look at the screen and try to follow along. Once we place our logo, it is now time to place our content in a proper manner. I have already written here the necessary text. As you can see, O is missing for COVID-19, and we can very well use this corona looking vector over here as O. Now we have to add dash over here. You can see here one capsule looking like structure. We can use this as dash too. Next, we will be placing necessary text in their respective places. Now again, it's up to you guys how you place your contents. I would suggest not to use many colors for your text, and also it is better if we choose our text from the existing background. For example, I have used blue color here because on the SIS IEEE logo we have blue over here, and this green is picked from here. So we will be doing this same for here too. And to put color, we have learned color eyedropper tool. To zoom, you can use the scroll of your mouse. Again, we will be clicking eyedropper tool to select this one and to color this. You can give some color to this too. Now, we will be creating a pathway for our actual content. You can see I have made a line over here by just using freehand tool. Give it some width and make it dotted from here. We'll be doing this.
Sorry for the inconvenience. There's just a network lag. We shall be back in a few minutes.
Now, sorry, there was a technical glitch over here. To show a pathway, we will first make this dotted line, and we will not be looking for any other color from now on. Give it color green by using eyedropper over here. Fill this circle with green. Place this pad inside it. As you can look here, we are trying to do this. This is where we lost our internet connection, but now it's back. Select all, make it center, give it some type of font, make it white, and place it inside this. Group it and place it over here. If you see in this poster, you can see some sort of curved lines over here. We'll shortly looking by it, and we can achieve this by using pen tool. Now let's learn how to add text over here. Click on this text tool and make a box as we make a rectangle. Go to your GitHub site and you can see your first part is about the project. Copy this text and paste it here. You can vary the size as you want it. As you can see, we have created one line over here. We will be copying this by pressing 1 on your number keypad. Again, drag it towards down using shift and mirror it upwards. Now, as we are following zigzag pattern, I would suggest that you can use alternate colors through your pathway. Now here, we will be trying to do this part. Make it blue again. Make this green. Place this inside the circle. And as we did this about the project, we will be typing modules over here. Because as you can see, the next part is about modules of the project. Select all, group it, and place it here. As you can see, this module is bit bigger. So we have to make the lines over here curved. Now we will be doing that using pen tool. Select this, make this line bit shorter, and by using this pen tool, click here, then click and make it bit curved. Remember, you will not lift up the finger until and unless the line is fully curved. Same way, we will be copy pasting this down as we did for the first one. Click on plus on your number keypad, press shift, mirror it, and place it. Now I will show you one more resource website, which is cleanpng.com. Here, the images don't have background and you can use this as it is. As you can see here, I already have one over here and I will be using this to fill in the empty spaces over here, such as this one. As you can see in the actual poster, I have did it already in many places. Now to place this inside, for a moment, keep your transparent sheet aside. And we have learned power clip function. So just do that. And place this by pressing P again. You can see the transparent works here properly and the object is placed behind it. When we say digital poster, it has to have some digital element. So we thought of adding hyperlink to the logos. And to do that, select on the object or logo, go to Windows, Dockers, links and rollovers. Here you can see we can type our URL. Just copy paste your URL, paste it over here and click enter. The hyperlink is added to it already now. The last thing is delete rest of the background from your poster. Now the last thing remaining is that we will be exporting it in the PDF form. And to do so, click here on export option. You can see many file formats over here, but we will be selecting PDF for now. Click on export. We don't need all of these pages, so we will be selecting current page over here. As you can see, the poster which we just created has been exported to PDF. And to look at if the link is working, we will be clicking on this logo. And we are redirected to the SIS-GST IEEE website. Here, we come to an end to the actual digital poster making webinar. For those who followed everything, excellent. Even if you missed out something, you can always check our YouTube channel. This session has been recorded and it will be available to you soon. My next few minutes are for those who feel this software is tough and I lack creativity within me. Our main motive behind conducting this webinar was to teach you all how to make a decent poster and not to excel or master you guys for designing. And mark my words, and here I quote, if you know how to use Microsoft Paint, then you can learn how to use CorelDRAW within a week. No doubt that the poster we made was intermediate level and lot of thinking went into it while I was designing it. It was a great poster with excellent idea. For a moment, let us consider you think you lack creative within you, but your idea is excellent. Let me show you some facts over here. About a month ago, we participated in Techno Digital Poster Making Competition, which was organized by MGM IEEE student branch. And they were generous enough to provide us detailed marking scheme, scores we got, and comments by the judges. Here you can see 50 points is allotted to the idea itself and the rest combined is 50. I won't deny the fact that the great design can always make you stand out. But it doesn't guarantee your win. It is the idea that make you win. Suppose I have an excellent poster design and I got 20 points for presentation. But in idea, I just got only 10 points. So what exactly I am suggesting you to do is go to freepik.com, search for brochure, flyer or template, look at them one by one and think where you feel can you fit your contents best. Let's say I select this flyer and again I have downloaded it over here. As I said, we will be looking for .eps file. Just keep looking at my screen for the next 1 minute. The same process will be followed now. Right click, ungroup all, delete unnecessary backgrounds. Resize it. Now, at the start of our webinar, we just saw how to use interactive tool and make one background. Just make that background by using this interactive fill tool. Place it over here and just place your content as you would like to. Here it is a decent poster, not an excellent one, but with a great idea. Export it and this is what it will be looking like.